It is my pleasure to participate once again in a Cat per Mille initiative meeting. It has been 2 years already since the adoption of the historic Paris Agreement, and at the same time the launching of the Cat per Mille, which shows the important contribution that agriculture and soil can make for the achievement of the objective set to fight against climate change while ensuring global food security. Spain is committed to the objective of the initiative, as well as to the additional benefits that it brings, such as desertification and erosion reduction, or the biodiversity conservation, which are very important for our country, given the vulnerability of a large part of our soils. The soils are an important element of concern in the European agricultural and environmental agenda. The integration of the Cat per Mille initiative objectives in the regulatory framework of the future Common Agricultural Policy, focusing on an even more sustainable agriculture, should undoubtedly increase. Spain, as a country affected by the consequences of climate change in its natural environment, its agriculture and its soils, should be at the lead of all those initiatives to be adopted to contribute to its adaptation and mitigation. Our participation in the different events held since its launch shows the special relevance that we give to this initiative. Furthermore, our interest in contributing to the initiative governance has been translated this year through the presentation by Spain of a candidacy for the scientific coordinator position within the Secretariat, unanimously approved by all members and which has already been working. During these last 2 years, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Food and Environment has organized and collaborated in several conferences and meetings to promote the objective of the initiative. On the other hand, Spanish institutions, research centers, universities and associations that formally participate in the initiative are increasing, as well as the initiative and research work focusing on soils and the incorporation of organic carbon. In parallel with this intense activity carried out by the research stakeholders, the Ministry has commissioned a study to evaluate the potential of the application of the initiative at the national level, analyze the different sources of organic matter for the Spanish soils, and estimate the emission reduction associated. From this study, which will be presented in the coming month, we can highlight some conclusions. The study emphasizes something that is already well known. The climate and the types of land use management are two determining factors in the concentration and amount of organic carbon in the soil. It is also highlighted that there are several types of land use management, with practices favoring the permanent cover of soil that increase the amount of organic carbon. As an example, the application of crops waste stand out among the most effective measures. It is also noted that there are large differences in the rates of carbon increase according to the measure to be adopted, so measures should be analyzed and evaluated case by case and in a cost-efficient manner. Spain will take into account the result of this study to address this issue in the coming years, and we will share it with all interested parties. Our intention is to have the Cat per Mille initiative very present in our future strategy and initiative to be adopted by Spain in the coming years in the field of agriculture, soils and climate change. It will be present in the agriculture, climate and environment strategy being nowadays elaborated, which also includes the forestry sector. This strategy will define what should be the contribution of agriculture and forestry to the challenge of climate change and the preservation and environment. And it also has the vocation to be integrated into the future climate change and energy transition law, in which we have also been working throughout 2017. On the other hand, let me also highlight how, through the special link that Spain has with Latin America, in 2017, a specific meeting was held in Chile with the Latin American research centers to transmit the objective of the initiative. I wish you a very fruitful discussion, all of you. Thank you very much.